Hey everybody, welcome back once again to another episode of The Art of Photography. My name is Ted Forbes, and today we're talking about Christmas. And what does Christmas have to do with photography? Well, I think it's what's really important to remember, and this is going to be slightly opinionated of me, but you know, in this day and age where we're kind of consumed with the commercial aspects of this holiday and the beating and lashing that we get on television via commercials and Christmas specials, and particularly all the companies that want us to buy their products. You as a photographer, you're watching this, you've taken a bunch of photos, you're trying to get better at it, and what you need to remember is that you have a very unique talent and that you can make something for somebody. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit today, about what you can give that's very photography related, but something that you make that you would give to somebody. First of all, the most obvious thing would be Christmas cards, and I've done these quite a bit in the past, and the most obvious things to think about are companies like Moo.com, M-O-O.com, and Moo is a great company. They're based out of the UK, and they basically specialize in anything that needs to be kind of customized short run print stuff. So it's perfect for cards, it's perfect for business cards, it's perfect for all those things. But they do cards as well, and you know, you could cull back through the archive of stuff you've shot in the last year and just find a nice image that would work for something like that. Moo is great. Sometimes I personally prefer something that's a little more handcrafted looking and less inkjet printer looking, and but you could still use your inkjet printer. One thing that's nice that you can do is if you go to any office supply store, I've had really good luck finding just basic blank cards that you can feed through your inkjet printer, but I won't actually put them through the inkjet printer. I'll just use those as cardstock, and I'll actually print my photos and actually glue those to the top, and that makes a really nice, more personalized gift. However, it does take a little more time to make, but that is kind of the point of this. I've also seen crazy things like card paper that's actually emulsion paper that you can print in a darkroom. So you might look into, if you do darkroom printing, some of those options as well. It's kind of fun. It's something that you can really get your hands dirty and make one-offs of. As far as Christmas gifts go for people, if you want to give prints, I've done some episodes this year on framing, and you can go back and watch those. I'm not going to regurgitate those today, but it's a very inexpensive, cool route to go. For instance, this is a photogram that I made, and a photogram is basically, if you haven't watched the podcast on that, it's produced by laying an object down onto a piece of darkroom paper and hitting it with light really quickly. So there's no camera involved, and it gives you a black and white image more or less. This is just a simple one of a corkscrew that I've done that I framed, and actually I used this in that podcast episode a while back. But this was not an expensive image to make. It took some time to go in the darkroom and make this. This would make a nice gift. And the frame, basically, you can watch the framing episode, but I bought this frame at IKEA, and I really recommend IKEA. I don't get kickbacks from these people. I'm just sharing with you things that have worked for me in the past. And IKEA is an excellent source for stuff like that. And the reason I really like the IKEA frames, most framing shops you go in and they have these old school, dingy, drab black frames. And I'm probably being a little dramatic about that, but personally, I don't want to put my work in black frames. There's something about it that's kind of dated looking to me. And I really like these natural wood frames. The other thing that's nice about these is the price. In the US, I probably paid, I think, $10 a frame for these. And so these make very inexpensive you know, gifts that require a little bit of time to put together. But again, you're giving something that's from the heart, and you're making something. And I think that's important to realize. Also, if you want to go bigger, you can get the larger frames, and they kind of go up incrementally. I seem to remember in, you know, sets of 10. So an 8x10 frame like this is probably, it was about $10. I think the next size up goes to 20 and then 30 and so on. But still, you can do relatively big prints, you know, with a fairly set budget, which is good. Another thing you can do is if you don't have a darkroom and you want to do some prints and you want to do something nice for somebody, there's some services you can look into. And with the holidays rapidly approaching, it's important to check deadlines to make sure you get things in time and to check turnaround times. Adorama, which is a camera store in New York, who also has a printing facility. I haven't actually used them, but Wade, who I do the other podcast with, has, and I know a couple other people who have as well and have had really good results. And you can do these online. Basically, you upload your image, make sure it's high enough resolution, and they will basically do these large blow-ups, and you can have them sent to you. I can't talk much more about that about Adorama. Go to their website, check out what they've got, but I've not used them myself. What I have used is a company in Dallas here called BWC, and you don't have to be in Dallas to use them. They will work online, and their website is bwc.net. And One of the things I like about BWC is they've never become a huge internet company. They're run mainly as, historically, they've been a service bureau for photographers. So they used to, back in the old days, do film development, which they still do, contact sheets, any kind of color correction. They do large blow-ups. And they still are very film friendly. So if you're a film photographer and you want to work with more traditional stuff, but you don't have the means to do it yourself, BWC is a big plus in that area. They also do digital prints. In fact, these prints that you see behind me, and I pulled one of them down, this is kind of a nice route you can go without spending a whole lot of money as well. These are some show prints that I had printed a while back, and they're really simple. It's just basically, I think this is what they call their Merit series of prints. So this is a Merit print. And it's just basically printed on a kind of matte finish paper, and you can specify what you want with them. And then I had them actually go a step further and mount these to foam core. And these are pretty cool. They make nice presentation pieces. These would make nice gifts for somebody. One of the only complaints I have about something like this is the archival quality and the longevity you're going to get out of it. It's completely unprotected when it's on foam core like this. So, you know, you could argue actually that the IKEA frames probably do not have UV glass on them, so they probably are, but I think this is even less archival because this is prone to dust, scratches. In fact, I don't know if you're hitting the glare at all in the video, but you can actually see some of those things that have come with age on this already. It has not faded, but I do have some scratching going on here, things like that. But anyway, but these do make nice gifts, and they don't run too expensive. I think I took my files over on a CD, and I think for each one of these, I want to say $40 to $50 range is what we're looking at for something like that. And it is a nice print. You have other options too other than mounting on foam core. Most places like BWC, most service bureaus will do some kind of framing. When you get into custom framing, however, please note that this starts getting really expensive and you don't want a surprise of a large bill. And I think it's important, especially if you want to give a lot of gifts during the holiday season, you know, you probably want to come up with your budget and kind of figure out how you're going to go about this straight away. So I mean, if you're doing a one-off, it could be, you know, a little bit different. But if you're doing these in any kind of number, you need to make sure you have everything together for something like that. Anyway, but so, you know, custom framing will get rather expensive. If worse comes to worse and you really don't have anybody close and you don't feel comfortable ordering through the mail, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I know Walmart and Target and places like that have photo services. I think I would just assume, you know, stick myself in the eye with a fork, then go to Walmart. But that is an option that's available, and if it's all you've got, it's all you've got. But I would really encourage everybody, I know this is a little bit different of episode than what I normally do on this show, but I really want to encourage people to try to make things. And I think it's easy to forget. And it's probably your biggest gift as a photographer is that ability to make things for people. And so, you know, maybe even at least for a couple people, you can try that this holiday season. So anyway, this is a little bit rushed because I wanted to get this in with time left over before the holidays. But anyway, take that for what it's worth, and Merry Christmas to you. And once again, this has been The Art of Photography, and thank you for watching.